Hundreds of members from trade union Cosatu are taking part in a nationwide protest in various cities. They want a moratorium on job cuts in certain sectors, as well as a speedier resolution on a minimum wage policy. In Johannesburg, they're also protesting against e-tolls, retrenchments and Eskom's failure to finish building new power stations on time. The marchers are being punted by Cosatu as the mother of all stayaways, but the one in Johannesburg has been plagued by confusion about the starting point as well as poor turnout. Nonetheless, those who've turned up are in high spirits. Marchers delivered their first memorandum of grievances in Braamfontein, and they'll be heading to the Chamber of Mines next, and from there they'll move on to the Gauteng Premier's office. Well, for more on the march in Johannesburg, we now cross live to our reporter Liabo Sito. Liabo, a very good afternoon to you. Now, reports indicate that many have heeded Cosatu's call for this particular march. Do tell us about the turnout today.
Alicia, yes, indeed, many have heeded Cosatu's call to come and join them for this march, marching against, amongst other things, in Johannesburg, the halting of e-tolls, a moratorium on jobs, Eskom and its delay on power stations. But of course, there has been a bit of a problem in starting. There was a bit of a confusion in the morning with regards to where the marchers would have to gather. And there's also been talk, I've been following social networks, about whether this turnout is the best that Cosatu could do. But I'm not the right person to be answering those questions. I have Mr. S'dumo Dlamini, who's the Cosatu president, and he's the one that's going to tell us about what today's progress has been like for Cosatu. Are they happy with this, and what expectation they're expecting from today's march? Mr. Dlamini, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us here this afternoon.
Mr. Dlamini, could you just give us an indication of what happened firstly in the morning? We understand that there was a confusion with regards to where people are supposed to be gathering. I was part of the confusion because I went to a wrong place. Give us your understanding of what went wrong.
Yes, and we have apologized to the workers and the media about that small glitch, which was as a result of when the police said the march should start at the venue where it started. They had already had Cosatu issuing notices that the march was going to start here instead of that side. We have apologized on that one. These places are not very far from each other, and we accept that people have indeed accepted our apology. We are here indeed quite jubilant, very happy that the day has been a very successful day. Our marches the country over has been tremendously successful. The Cosatu, as you know, the Cosatu was in this country today. Everybody knows that. Those who continue to pretend as if they don't see that, let them continue to dream on. We were able to raise all our issues for everybody to hear. Against the labor brokers, against the e-tolls, against the retrenchments that are being suggested by employers, against, we want government to push ahead with the issue of the national minimum wage. We have demonstrated that we are a Cosatu of the workers of South Africa, still very much relevant, and we are coming back. We'll be giving them a few weeks to respond, and we want answers. If they are not satisfactory, we're still going to come back on this one.
Let's perhaps do a timeline backwards and start where you are ending here at the Chamber of Mines. I noticed that the pitch here is quite loud in terms of the message that you are trying to send to miners. Give us your thinking behind that.
There is currently the strike in call. The miners are on strike, and the employers are intransigent. We want employers to sign an agreement with the mine workers on their demands. There is the gold sector, which is currently dilly-dallying and playing dirty tricks with the smaller unions instead of agreeing to sign with the majority union here. That has got to stop. It has caused workers angry. The mine workers are angry. That's why you see the tempo having risen up here. Even what's this thing that's stupid that this man says he signed a wrong memorandum. There's nothing like a wrong memorandum he signed. It's a correct memorandum. They must respond to those demands as the chamber.
let's move back to the Premier's office and go back to Telkom. The Premier's office, did you get the kind of response you were hoping for when you delivered the memorandum there?
I think we did, because initially there was no clear explanation as to why the Premier was not here. When that was clarified, workers accepted that and indeed presented their memorandum to the Gauteng Premier through the MEC for Economic Development. We are happy with that. At Telkom, Eskom and PRASA, again, they did come and received our memoranda. We are expecting responses from them as soon as possible.
You may have heard that I said during our intro that they have been monitoring social media, and there's talk about whether this is the best turnout you could have had. Just under 5,000 people in my prediction. Is this the best you could have done?
We are here more than 15,000 people here. And I know the counting of the media is always in the reverse. The counting of the police is something else. We count heads because we're bringing people per transport that we bring here. We know exactly what we're talking about. We are very happy with the turnout. But remember, this is a national action. The whole country, you have had more than 150,000 people turning over. I may be exaggerating on that one, but we have had a good one. Last week, there was a Mickey Mouse, a small thing that was happening, and people were saying, we will see what the Cosatu match is going to be like. Here is the Cosatu as you know it. We are happy. We are moving forward, and we will come back. You will see more of the Cosatu recently.
I take it that you are very satisfied with how everything went today, and it seems like we are on time.
We are very excited, and we thank the workers of this country for having supported their calls for the demands here today. We are happy as the leadership.
Mr. S'dumo Dlamini is the president of Cosatu, and he was giving us his view about the march, and he seems to be very happy about what the turnout is, and he says that Cosatu has apologized about the confusion that was there in the morning about where the gatherings should have been, which I believe some people say maybe some people at Mary Fitzgerald Square could have left and gone back because of the confusion. Well, that's unconfirmed, and he says, look, we have apologized for that. So, Alicia, we will be having a comprehensive package about how this march progressed throughout the entire country in all our later bulletins.